Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply. This video is to bring you a closer look at the Ultra Hardware number 15997. This is what they call a mini door closer. The 15997 is inherently a brown finish, is what it is. The 15999 is the same closer in a white finish. So keep that in mind if you're not sure what color that you want. Brown and white. Very typical, very common sort of item that you're going to see on residential doors. The specifications that Ultra has for states that this door is for units that are rated somewhere I had seen 150 pounds. Oh, it says it on the box actually. For left and right hand doors up to 150 pounds. I certainly wouldn't use it on anything other than a residential door. That would certainly not be anywhere close to 150 pounds, would be my judge. I'm suspect of that. I'm suspect of this internal springs ability to work with such a door opened to even just 90 degree and having enough tension set on it to actually get that door to move, not only closed but latched. That would be, I would be suspect of that. I would like to think that since the box states that they've actually tested it on doors that high, but I don't have any personal experience with it on such a heavy door. I would be thinking of doors half of that weight at an absolute maximum is the bottom line. It's a spring, keep in mind, so it's just a spring. Doesn't offer any sort of hydraulic control over the opening at all. Now, let's go over the dimensional properties of this as we tour the different items. So you've got the business end, the spring body itself, and that's just surface mounted onto the face of the jamb, or really what would be the casing on the pull side naturally. The overall height, about 4 3/8. Overall width of the mounting plate is about 1 inch. But it gets just a little bit heavier in terms of the spring enclosure at about 1 inch and 3/16. Okay. Overall projection from the face is going to be about 1 inch and 3/16 as well. You will then have the arm that is screwed to that body with these two rollers, and that has an overall of about 4 3/4. Certainly that will allow you to thread that right into the body. Okay. Once it's installed, or I should say the tension is properly set. In order to do so, they send you a tension rod. You thread that into the body itself and will use it to set tension then into one of the new holes that have been revealed as you turn that. Okay. You'll thread the arm with the roller into it. Then finally you'll have a strike plate, and that strike is going to be attached to the face of the door so that when the door opens and that pushes the door closed, it will not mar the face of the door, but that piece of plastic that's there. Finally, you'll get 4 screws for attaching the body to the door, to the jamb, and then you will get 2 nails that are all but impossible to see there. Well, kind of see them there, and that's for attaching the scar plastic to the face of the door. Now, there's a link below this video to the installation instructions, and they are included with the closer itself. Step 1 is to fasten the main part body of the door closer onto the surface of the door jamb or door frame. The door jamb or frame must be flush with the surface of the door. It is really never the case that the casing or the jamb would be flush with the face of the door. I've seen these installed where people have literally taken and notched out the casing to give them, if you had colonial casing or ranch casing or something obviously not modern and straight, you're going to have to notch that or mortise it so that it's flush, so that you can mount that down flat onto the face of it. Technically you could mount it at an angle because the arm really doesn't care because it's under spring tension, but you're going to need to account for that. Having the unit the door flush with the frame also relates to having the arm all the way at the position where the door is closed, but not having so much additional tension set on the spring so that you are getting either too little control when it's open and it moves too quickly, or you have it set back too far where the door actually begins to open before the spring will begin to become under tension. So you're going to need to have a relatively flush condition there. I've not tested or experimented with what those tolerances are, except to say the instructions say they need to be flush. I'm saying that they never really are, but the truth of the matter is you're going to need to be relatively close. Moving on to, or back to step one, this can be mounted really either way, and if you take note of that arrow, the arrow just needs to point in the direction of where the lock is, okay, or towards the door itself. Step two is when you have that mounted, you're going to use your tension pin, thread that in, and then turn and set tension on the spring itself, and then again into one of those new revealed holes, insert your arm with the wheels, test for proper operation, and then go about adjusting as necessary. They show that this is mounted up at the top of the door above the first hinge. I don't personally see any reason to put it anywhere else. Certainly, you would want that out of the way. You don't want it down below where people can touch it. You don't want to have your hands around it or have someone unintentionally touching it. So keeping it up top would be the desired location. The tension, as noted in step 3 of the installation instruction, the tension regulates the closing speed of the door and basically adjust the tension on the spring should you need more or less closing action by duplicating what is in effect step 2. After the proper tension and closing speed is obtained, position the plastic roller mat underneath the roller, gauge where that needs to be applied when you are in the closed position, and then observe the open position so that you position this correctly so that you're not, falling off the mat, or the plastic the strike for the face of the door. Okay, so observe that, mark it, and then nail it onto the face of the door, and that would be great. This is in a powder-coated finish. It's going to be a nice, durable finish. Very nice quality item. Weighs about 0.95 pounds, so it's rather substantial in its weight. Concluding everything about the Ultra Mini Door Closer, I'd like to wrap that up by saying there is a link below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can review not only all of the Ultra hardware products that we sell, but a link also to the manufacturer's website, along with a link to the full product catalog. Ultra offers to the market everything in a broad left to right spectrum, from residential hardware like cabinet hardware, all the way up to great quality locks, commercial grade locks, exit devices, things of that nature, and practically everything in between. If you have more than an occasional need for hardware of either category, commercial or residential, bookmark or familiarize yourself with their catalog. If you're a landlord, if you're someone who is charged with maintaining apartments, homes, condo complexes, let's just say that you're in the fencing or the wrought iron gate business, they have hardware for practically every sub-segment of those categories. If you have any questions on the Ultra hardware number 15997 mini door closer in the dark brown finish, or any other Ultra product, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you.